Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on the PGSMP server. We have a daunting task, at least I think, to take care of here today, and that is based around something that I've been meaning to do for a while. Now, you'll notice that I'm in my full netherite gear instead of having the elytra equipped to my wings, because we need to try and do something here in the nether side. So let's go ahead and jump through this portal. And you'll see what I'm talking about just over here off to my left, or your right as you're looking at that. So we have ourselves a fairly simple little rig put together. I've seen this recommended by a couple of different people in terms of breaking bedrock. The bedrock block that we want to break is right below this piston. And the way that we're going to try and accomplish this is by getting right up underneath this trap door and then maneuvering around to this side where we can then attempt to place the piston on this block right here. But the other recommendation that I have seen for that is coming into our options and changing our controls to, instead of the right button, to the G button here. So that will mean that if I want to place something, I will need to press the G key or even, activate this trap door here. But you'll notice here that by holding down G, I get some pretty rapid clicking there. So I have some faith that this is going to work pretty well for us. We'll just kind of have to cross our fingers and hope for sure. Now, before doing this, you want to make sure that you have a way of getting back through the nether portal if it should be extinguished. You can do that either with a flint and steel or a fire charge. So let's go ahead and see if we can make our way around here. We're going to need to have our pistons active here, and then let's flip that. And we got the upside down piston here, which means that we did not successfully have a break. But let's try this a couple of more times and see if we have any better luck. So after trying that process for a little bit, turns out the server really doesn't like that for whatever reason. So it doesn't appear that we'll be able to be doing any bedrock breaking in this version of the world, at least, which is unfortunate, but I mean, sometimes stuff like that happens and you just kind of got to roll with the punches for it. So it's all well and good. Well, there are a couple other things that I was hoping to accomplish today, not just sleeping to pass the night here, but let's have a look at a couple of the other things that we're going to want to do. Primarily, these wool farms have been doing quite well. As a matter of fact, a good chunk of them are basically full up. And I think that it might be useful to sell some of this wool in our shop. So what I'm going to do is get myself a shulker box, ideally one that doesn't have anything in it. I might have to empty out one of these and put some other things in it real quick. So let's take care of that quickly here. So another source of wool that I have is actually this string, because I'm getting copious amounts of string out of the gunpowder farm. So being able to load up a bunch of that as well is going to do us quite nicely. So let's put all of the string that I have in this red shulker box into some wool blocks, and that will free up an additional shulker box for us to take some wool over to our shop and set up a selling point for that as well. Alright, so just like that, we have the wool that's now for stock. I've got it in the same quantities as the scaffolding, which has actually been a pretty hot button topic. There's been a lot of purchases for the scaffolding, so that's always pretty fun. So yeah, the wool is going to sell at that same amount. I'm not coloring any of it. Maybe I will expand into that once I have my hands on all of the possible dyes, or at least a better way of getting them. But the other thing that I have is I've made an adjustment to the stock of rockets. So the bottom is still the same. It's still flight duration 1, but I have reduced the price from 4 diamonds a stack to 2 diamonds a stack. And then over here, it is 2 diamonds for a stack and a half. And that means that with the promotional offer that I have going on of buy 3 stacks, get 1 stack free, paying server members can pay 4 diamonds for their 4 stacks of rockets, because you would end up paying the 4 diamonds to get your 3 stacks, and then that last stack would be thrown in for free. And then the other thing that I need to do is I've kept the 4 diamonds and the 3 diamonds per stack for the flight duration 2 rockets, which I just need to put out right now because I've crafted up a bunch of them. So let's go ahead and throw a bunch of these into these respective chests. And we'll see if one sells better than the other. So there we have it. I feel like we've got a decent amount, or a decent array of items coming through here. I will probably come through and craft up some more bone blocks, or increase the quantities in which these can be purchased. So that'll be fun. And then the shulker boxes are still here. We'll see. They have been getting bought, so we'll just have to see how well that goes and whether or not it's worth my time to restock them. But before we go for today, there was one other thing that I wanted to make sure that I do. So let's head over and take care of that real quick. Here we are in the end, and specifically I've talked about this area a little bit in the past. This is an Enderman grinder that has been drawn up and put together by MC Shorty. It's not his design, but it is a very highly efficient version of the Enderman farm. And up there above you have your standard Endermite, but instead of bringing them all into just a standard entrapment chamber, the Endermen are all at a point where you can hit them and they will die in 1 hit because they take a large amount of fall damage when coming down here to the base of the farm, which is all well and good, but the trouble that tends to arise with this is most of us have looting 3 on our swords. So I've gone ahead and created a very simple redstone clock that we can use in order to get rid of the excess ender pearls that we have. And this works very, very simply. All it really does is it allows the dropper to collect up pearls from the hopper and double chest above. And as you can see, there are quite a bit of those ender pearls here, and their storage chest is still completely full of them as well. And this will help us from having to walk over to the edge and dispose of the pearls manually and risk potentially dropping one's gear off the edge. So the way that this works, it couldn't be a more simple redstone clock. It involves an observer facing away from the dropper, so the signal is pushed out the back into the hopper. Another observer that is facing towards the observer that it is attached to a sticky piston. And then by extending the sticky piston, the 2 observers recognize the updates of the flashing redstone going on within each other, and you will just have this constant spew of the ender pearls off into the abyss, because nobody needs hundreds, if not thousands, of ender pearls at their disposal at any one given time. And if you really need to, you can get that back. The other positive here is that because we have 2 different systems for this, it does give us a chance to collect any of the Enderman heads or other exclusive loot that comes out of it without having to risk any of that going through or building up a very complex redstone filtration system, which someone may want to do at some point in time, but that's not in the cards for me, at least as far as I'm concerned. We'll just deal with this system as we have it in its current iteration. But that's going to do it for me here today, so I want to thank you all for watching today's episode. If you enjoyed it, as always, feel free to leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily content, as it's not all Minecraft, but it's all some pretty interesting stuff that I really hope that you'll enjoy. We just crushed 500 subscribers, so thanks to all of you who have subscribed up until this point. and we look forward to welcoming many, many more of you to the channel and the family as we progress. So with all that being said, thanks one more time for watching, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye.